Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to EuroborrowSec, and in today's video we are going to continue with our dark web video series. So without further ado, let's begin. So in my last video we were talking about some of the dark web search engines, and if you've not checked that video, I will leave the link to that video in the description so you can go ahead and check it out. So without further ado, let's begin this video. Today we are going to talk about communication in the dark web. So this is a really very crucial topic. You have to understand that how you communicate in the clear web is very different than how you are going to communicate in the dark web. So basically we are going to look at PGP, and a software called Kleopatra entails how to generate key pairs and much more. So you might be asking, what is this PGP? PGP is short for it's long for pretty good privacy. It's a type of an asymmetric encryption where you have a public key and a private key. So in simple terms, a public key is a key that you will share with the person who you're going to send this message to, and a private key is the key that you will have to decrypt those messages sent to you through your public key. So the one thing that you need to know is that you need to keep your private key secure as possible. You don't share this key with anyone else. So without further ado, I've said that, but we can begin this video. So the first thing I like to do is go and power out my workstation. So yeah, that's sorry, yeah, let me pull it over here. I was just looking at some links, don't mind about that. And we will first, let me talk about the importance of PGP keys. So PGP keys are very useful in terms of communicating in any dark web marketplace or forums, and to make sure that if you are passing any sensitive type of information, that the person that you are sending this information is just that person and not anyone else can actually read that information. So it was actually introduced, I think, in 1981, if I'm not wrong. And the purpose was just for, it can also be used in the clear web or in normal day-to-day activities if you're passing a very sensitive information through a party or through anyone. So PGP keys are very useful in the navigation of dark web marketplace and forums, specifically if you are communicating with vendors or you are in a marketplace. And I like to emphasize that the number one thing is in marketplace is that you do not trust, you should never trust a marketplace saying that it's encrypting your information. That will be a lie, and once we continue with this series we will find out more about that. So I'll start by actually teaching you or showing you how to actually create a PGP key pairs with tails. So the first thing you'll want to do is to come to applications. Let me make it full. You'll come to application, and then you will come to accessories, and then you'll find the Kleopatra software that will help you generate these key value pairs or key pairs. So as my Kleopatra is loading up, I want to show you something. So I know we've not talked about the trade forums or marketplace, but in my last video I really talked about dark.fail. So it's up, and actually I can reduce this. So I did talk about the dark.fail. It has a pretty good place so that you can read more, but I'll show you also another thing called the Darknet Bible. It's a very good information for OPSEC or operation security while you are browsing through Tor. But that will we will do that, I think, in another video where we look we will talk about Dread and other dark web marketplaces. So if we come to Kleopatra over here, we'll see that the interface is pretty normal. So the first thing, if you want to create a key pair or the public key and the private key, you'll always come to the file, and then file, and then you'll click new key pairs, and then I'll just make it wide, and then now here you're going to create the name of your key pair. So for this demonstration, I'll just like to tell you that if you're going to create the name, make sure that this is a name that it's not your real name, because this can be your pseudonym or your alias. And I told you in my previous video that if you're going to use the dark web, make sure that you use a name that is actually, you've never used that name on the clear web, so you can come up with something that you're known, so that this can build credibility in this marketplace if you're a vendor. I'm not saying you go and sell stuff on the dark web, but I'm just saying this is basically the importance of OPSEC, which we are going to talk in details about this. So I'll just use a name called Bingo. And then this is now me creating a PGP key, and then you can use an email address. And if you're going to use an email address, make sure that you're going to use an email address that is also secured. So email addresses such as Proton Mail, or other email addresses that have been verified out there to be secured. The problem with dark web emails is that they come today and tomorrow they're gone, so you can't actually rely on them so much. So that's the problem with using dark web email services. But I think Proton Mail has a dark web version. You can go up there and sign in, and this email address is actually the name, and the email address are information that will be visible by and seen by anyone in your PGP key. So you have to be actually careful when you're writing your name. Make sure that the name that you're using is not your real name, and it's some pseudonym, and it's a name that I like to say use a name that you've never used if you're in the dark web. Make sure that your identity in the dark web is different from your identity on a clear web. So I will leave the email section, but if you want to be contacted via email, make sure you paste that email of yours, and then I will click advanced settings. You can choose the type of encryption. We have RSA, we have DSA, we have all this type of encryption, but I think RSA is quite good. It's used by a lot of company. YouTube's use them in their certificates and all that stuff. So I'll change it to the maximum, which is 4096 bits, both, and 4096 bits. So this is the highest level of RSA encryption. And then I also like to put my keys, or my public key, to have a valid period. So one thing you need to note that is make sure you are using different keys on different marketplaces. That's a good OPSEC practice. Make sure that that key, maybe this key is for a market called Bingo. So, and if I have another marketplace that I'm using, I make sure I generate another key. So it's a good thing I like putting validity, so I can come here and look for the actual date that I want to put. But okay, this for demo 2026 is fine with me, and then I'll click OK. And then I also like protecting the generated key with a passphrase. So remember, this is not a password, but that's a passphrase. So passphrase are things like these are like strong passwords you need to use. So I will actually tell you guys to use the passphrase if necessary. You have to use, so we'll do that. And then I'm being told the process of creating a key requires a large amount of random numbers. This might require several minutes, but it's done. So I like using a passphrase, so I'll just use a passphrase with the numbers, and let me try So okay, I'm trying to come up with a passphrase like so I'm trying to come up with a passphrase. Let's okay, this is just a demo key, so I don't mind. Let's use like let's show. Let's say the baby was born in 2002 at, or let me use percentage sign, and I can copy that and then I can paste that. So remember this, if you're going to use a passphrase, you have to be careful. Make sure you remember this passphrase. And let me create that, and I'm being told that, okay, so I'm waiting for the keys to be generated. So I'm being told that the process is going to take a while, but and you will note that you'll see that once we open, yeah, so the I'm being told that the fingerprint of the certificate has been created successfully. I'll click OK. But you'll note that once you open Kleopatra, you'll find this board at tails. So this, I'll tell you, don't delete this. These are public keys for the tails team. So if you want to contact them, if you find a bug, so we have the Tails Bug Squad, so you can come here and contact them using their PGP keys. So this is basically their public keys. These are all their public keys. So the next thing is we've created the bingo, which we are being told that it's certified and it's from this point to this point. We can come here and just double click it, and then if we want to see our generated keys, our generated key, we'll click on export. Now this is the public key block, so we see this is the public key block. So if you are going to communicate, if you want somebody to communicate to you through the PGP key, now you're going to copy all this block of text from beginning, and then you'll copy it, and then you're going to paste it on the marketplace or email or whatever platform. So they also have to have the Kleopatra software, or if they're using another software to generate their keys. So and then they will encrypt. So this message, if it's encrypted, it will only be decrypted by your secret key. So this is the public key which you can share, and if you want to know that it's a public key, you will see that it say begin PGP public key block, and it ends public. So this is generally your public key. So that's how we generate public key pairs, and then I can close it, and I can also decide to export my public key in the in maybe my documents, so I can share to this, and also this will contain the gibberish message that you've seen before. So this is bingo blah 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 dot public dot sc, and then I can save it and I can send it to somebody. So this is generally also a way for me to share my public key. So with that noted, that's how you create your public key pairs. And the next thing we are going to talk about is how to import a public key. So generally, how to import a public key, it's simple. We are going to the Tor browser, and if a marketplace follows the actual OPSEC security rules, they will always have a public key of their ways or their method of communication. So if you want to communicate through them, they will always have a way. And most marketplaces will, if you want to find their PGP, it's so this is an example of the Dread Forum marketplace onion. So you usually place pgp.txt at the end of the marketplace. So you will find some marketplace, they have it on their front end page or their home page. Others, they don't have it on their front end page, but they will store it on the /onion.pgp.txt. So this is what I'm talking about. So if you come to this marketplace Trade, you'll find that the following is the list of Trade staff PGP keys. So if you want to contact them, the same way I talked about, these are PGP keys for the tails stuff. So if I want to report a bug, I'll come here and I will come and export their PGP. So this is their PGP block. I can take it and basically let me copy it. So this is just similarly to what I've shown you. So I will close. Okay, it's taking some time. Yeah, so I think the problem was just system resources. I had a lot of programs running in the background, but yes, we can continue. So as I was saying, once we go to Tor browser and grab that public key of the person we want to send the message to, we are going to head over to the notepad, and then we are going to paste that PGP key. So it starts with the PGP key and you will have an end block. So this is basically the encryption. And then after that, what we're going to do is we are going to import the notepad. And then once we try to import it, we are going to receive, you have imported a new certificate. In order to mark the certificate valid, it needs to be certified. So if you, this is basically if you are importing a key of somebody that you trust, so it's confirming it is on a trusted website, so you can just click import. And once you do that, you are going to get the fingerprint of the Hunter Hagbanta, and then we are just going to click on certify. And then once we do that, we can come over and now we have to paste that password of ours, which was the baby. Yes, it's a warning. It's telling us, so it was the baby was born 2000, and then we had that mark, and then we can just click it, and okay, we are getting an error. Was born, I think was in, okay, in 2000, and it was 2000 if I'm not wrong. I didn't capture it correctly, and we have a okay, I think I've I think I've forgotten the password, and then I'm getting an error. So that is the reason why I didn't want actually to create a password. So let me do that. Let me create another key, just a quick let me go to cancel. I'll go to file, and then I'll create a new key. I'll create a new PGP key. This time I won't certify anything, so I'll call it Zimbo. I don't know what that means, but then I will just go to advanced and click another password. I know this is funny when I go to recording and I'll actually find the password, but yeah, let's do it. And I won't put the password this time, so it's creating, the process is creating a P key. It's going to take a mount, so that this is just like the similar process that we used in creating the other key, but unfortunately I didn't capture the password. And yeah, we're just being told it's going to take a couple of minutes, but it doesn't usually take those several minutes as it says. So this is basically me teaching you how to, yeah, it's now created. So this is a password that is, it's a key with no passphrase. So I can go back to the certificates and I can see we have Zimbo. So I'll just delete this bingo key. I'll delete it. It doesn't, yeah, I'll delete it. And then I think, yeah, delete key. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to use this Zimbo key. Yeah, you want to delete the, yeah, so it's deleted there. It's deleting both the key, the private key and the public key. So this is Zimbo. And yeah, so we can go back to the notepad. And you'll see that if I go to certificate, I'll see that bug hunter is already there, but he is not satisfied. So I can come here and say certify, and then I can certify. This time I won't be asked the password because Zimbo is created with no passphrase. So that's how you actually take the password of the that's actually how you import a key. We can also import a key by using the import section, and if we have the .asc, so in the documents I can come here and import a key if I want to. I'm not going because this is just my key. The other thing that I'm going to talk about is how to actually encrypt a message. So encrypting a message is really simple. Once we have the public key of the person that we've encrypted the message, so these are all public keys of the people that we have actually imported their public keys. So once again, what I will do is I will come to the notepad section, and over here I will encrypt. I'll type the message, so I'll say hello Ag Hunter. I think it's Ag Hunter. How are you? So this is the message that I'm writing, and if I come here, I'll click on recipient, and I don't. So this is the certificate that I'm going to use. This is my Zimbo public certificate that I'm going to use, and you can prove the authenticity, but it's not really necessary. So I can just click the sign us, and then I'll encrypt for me and encrypt for others. So encrypting for me means that I can also see the message. I can also decrypt the message in future. So if it comes to 5 months later, I can use this. If I receive this message, then I can decrypt it. But if I uncheck it, then the only person who can decrypt this message is going to be Hack Banter and no one else. So I'll just leave it for encrypt for me, and then I'll choose the recipient. So you can enter the username, or you can enter, if I just type on H, I'll see Hack Banter. So this is the person that I'm encrypting for others. So you can encrypt for multiple people, but in this case we are going to just encrypt for Agbounter, and then we're just going to say encrypt notepad, and then we'll see that encryption succeeded successfully. Then we can close it, and once we go to the notepad, we'll get this gibberish message saying PGP begin PGP message. So this is the message that we're going to send to Hagbanta, and when Hagbanta goes ahead and decrypts this message, he will find that we are just saying we're just doing some greetings. So that's how we encrypt notepad I mean PGP messages. So this is the message. I'll cut it. So if we want to decrypt the message, so since I have just typed on the recipient section, I had typed that this message is basically I can decrypt it. Decrypting it message is also very simple. We'll just come to the notepad section, and then we will paste this message that we had, and then we will come here and just say decrypt. So decryption is successful, and we can come here and close. And when we come, so we will come here and just paste this message, and then we'll click on decryption is successful. So yeah, this is the message that is decrypted. So this is decrypted because in the recipient section I had said that also encrypt for me. So it means that later I can also decrypt this message. So once we come here, we will see that the message is saying hello Hag Hunter. So how are you? So this is the message that also, if I send it, so once I get this message, this is the message. Now I can send him through any channel. But if I come to certificate here, I'll see that Hagbanta here, the guy has an email, so I can actually send the PGP message through the Hagbanta at jabba dot whatever this is, calixinstitute.org. So I can just send that message, and when he decrypts the message, he will find my message that I have sent to him. So that's how we actually decrypt messages, encrypt messages, and sometimes we can also use Notepad to actually sign messages, and signing messages is pretty easy. So if you want to sign a message, you will come to here, and the importance of signing actually signing a message is just to show authenticity. It's not really important. So we can come here the same way that I said, and we can write our message like hello. Okay. Hello. My name is Ron. Yeah. And then we can go to the recipient, and now we can click on sign us. So and we can just uncheck this other platform, and then once we do that, we can just say sign, and then it's just going to say signed successful. And when we go here, so this is the signed messages. So this is how we sign a message in Kleopatra. And the other thing is you can also use this to verify a message. So you will find information. Sometimes a marketplace does send a message, and you want to be sure that that message is actually sent from the real person, or the admin or the vendor. So let's say Agbanta has just sent a message through Dread Forum, and you want to verify that message. You will come here. So you've already imported his public key. The thing is, you will come here, and then you'll go to the notepad and take that message, and let's say you want to verify now it's actually Hagbanta sending this message. So you will press that message, and then you'll come here and say decrypt or verify. So if he had message that was sent, and you want to verify that this information is actually coming from the person who is Hagbanta, you'll just come here, and then you click, and then you just verify the message. So that's basically how we use PGP key. I know it might be overwhelming at first, but it's really important to actually use PGP in encrypting your messages. If you're going to the dark web, if you're going to communicate to a vendor. The funny story is I told you about encrypting. The reason it's important to encrypt these messages It's that there's been a famous dark web marketplace known as Incognito Marketplace. And what this guy basically, the admin who was called Pharaoh, he told the users that, oh, you don't need to be actually using PGP because our marketplace does the encryption for you. If you are going to any dark web marketplace and it's telling you that they are the ones encrypting your messages, please do not trust them at all. Make sure you use PGP encryption to talk to the vendors that you're going to talk to. If you're a vendor, which I really hope you're selling Bibles and all that, the legit or legal stuff. So what the marketplace was doing, Incognito, it was actually telling the users that you don't need to encrypt. We are going to encrypt your messages. But at the end of the day, all those messages were in plain text. And the story goes where Pharaoh was actually hacked and all his cryptocurrencies were stolen. So he decided to come back and just do an exit scam, which I ended up telling all the vendors and buyers that, yo, he was just like blackmailing them and telling them that, you know, all those messages that we told you we were encrypting, I'm sorry, we were not encrypting them. And if you don't pay us a certain amount of money by a certain time, then we are going to release this information to the feds. And people started paying up. And long story is that the guy was actually caught. I think he was a Taiwanese citizen. He was caught while he was traveling through US, and he was apprehended, and I think he's going for life or 30 years plus. So never trust a marketplace telling you to just we are going to encrypt your messages. Don't. Make sure that every communication that you're going to use, you're going to use PGP, which is just a good OPSEC way of keeping yourself secured. So we are really going to talk about OPSEC in details. And I think next video we are also going to talk about how we can actually verify domain names, because this .onions website, I actually sometimes phishing links where you will find yourself your crypto being stolen, and those are the kind of things you want to avoid. So I'm really glad that you watched this video, even though we had a inconvenience there with the bingo passphrase. I think I'll laugh once I finish this video and I go back and check out the passphrase. It's going to be funny. But yes, if you enjoy this type of content, kindly subscribe to the video and share it. Write some comment what if you have any questions. And yeah, so without further ado, again, we are going to finish this video. So thank you guys, and see you on the next